survived the day yesterday and last night. We got in late, about 7:30. It was pretty tough getting those 13 miles in, but we managed to make it, even though the last 0.8 miles was uphill all the way. It was tough, but we made it. We had time to set up our tent before dark. We were too tired to cook, so we had a package of tuna and some peanut butter and honey and tortillas for dessert, and then we went to bed and slept for about 12 hours. So I had Charlie horses and cramps in my legs all night. I need to do a better job of hydrating, I guess. But other than that, it was a good night. I feel good this morning. We had breakfast. We had some ramen noodles and powdered eggs, and it was actually quite good. So I'll show you a little bit of the campsite here. As you can see, we have a privy, which is always nice. This was a little nicer than the one that we had the night before. It's a beautiful spot, except lots of rocks. We had a rocky campsite. But with the air mattresses and everything, it wasn't bad. So we were right down there in that grove of trees. And if you scroll around, there was a nice spring over there we got water from. Pipe coming out of the side. There's the shelter down there. There were, probably 7 or 8 tents, campers here last night. Most of them were gone this morning when we got up, but oops, I'm back. Got to figure out this camera here. Hey, there we go. There I am. There were 3 campers here this morning. We had breakfast with, his trail name was Dog Mouse. Very nice young man. He's northbound from Springer into Katahdin. He's going to do about 21 miles today, and we're not. We're going to do, since yesterday was such a challenge for us doing 13 miles, it's 13 miles to the next shelter. So there's a Loft Mountain campground between here and there, about 6.5 miles away. So we're gonna hike on up there. We got thunderstorms coming in tonight anyway. I think around 5 o'clock, and hopefully we can make it up there, get our tent all set up, and ride out the storms tonight. And plus, there's a store there for some food and drink. Maybe they'll have some beers, and should be a good day. So it's a beautiful day today. Blue sky, some clouds, nice breeze. So it should be a nice walk up to Loft Mountain. We have to climb out of here. We did have to climb down into the campground tonight, and then we're about halfway up the side of the mountain, so we still have to go up the rest of this mountain. So we'll see how the old legs hold up, and I'll give you an update later. I'll give you a little close-up view of the shelter. The shelters out here are 3-sided with a roof. The front's always open. But if you look in here, you got a nice big floor. People can spread out and put their sleeping bags on. But there's also a loft, so people can sleep up there too if they want. We haven't tried the shelters yet, but I'm sure in the rain it'll be nice. You don't have to set up a tent. And if you look up here, you can see a little string. That's where you can hang stuff so the mice don't get it. This was nice. We had a nice picnic table. Usually the shelters have picnic tables. This one had a nice fireplace. People were making fires and cooking on them. We set up our little stove on the fireplace itself and cooked our breakfast this morning. That was nice. Then if you walk over here, you can see where the spring is. So, of course, we had to climb down there last night. But there's a nice little spring behind that log down there. place for water. So I guess that's it for here, and we'll see you down the trail. I'm still hiking up this morning's climb, but I look behind me and you see the high point over there to sort of in the center. We hiked over that yesterday, and then these two small ones, we hiked over them before we got to the gap, and then had to hike up to the campsite. So it doesn't show up well in the camera, but at least you get an idea. We're going up and down mountains this morning. It's a straight uphill climb. I'm not sure how far, but it seems like we've gone about a half mile so far. We're still not to the top. So I'll check in with you when I make it to the top. So we made it to the summit. It's about 0.7 miles uphill. Great way to start off your morning. Not a lot to see up here. So it is pretty rocky. And this is what makes the climb worthwhile. What a view. And we're walking around to the other side of those rocks. See what type of view we have out here. Oh yeah. Look at that. So back again, the wind's picking up, clouds are closing in. We should be getting pretty close to the campsite. And now, I'm going to say less than a mile. We should be able to make it before the rain comes. That's what I'm hoping. Get our tent set up and be ready to ride out the thunderstorm if it comes through. That's the latest from now. We've been lucky, we've been walking quite a few ridges. We did have a couple good climbs.